This is the Traeger Grills Pro 34 electric wood pellet grill and smoker. And if you're like me, someone who's always wanted to get that classic smoky BBQ flavor without turning it into a complicated process, you'll definitely want to check out my quick review. I've had this Traeger Pro 34 set up in my backyard for a little over a year, and today I want to share exactly what it's been like to own and use it. My hope is to give you my honest experience, especially if you're on the fence or new to pellet grills in general. When you first see the Traeger Pro 34, you know right away that it's a serious piece of equipment. The grill's body is solid, made from heavy-duty steel with a bronze powder coat finish, and those all-terrain wheels underneath give it a rugged, professional look. It's a pretty big grill, at 27 inches deep, 53 inches wide, and 49 inches tall, and weighs in at just over 150 pounds. So moving it does take some effort, but those wheels absolutely help. In my opinion, the bronze color really makes it stand out compared to the usual black grills you see everywhere. When it's sitting in my backyard with the sun patio cover on, it honestly looks like a mini outdoor kitchen setup. Definitely an upgrade from my old charcoal grill days. At first, I'll admit, I was a bit intimidated by the size and the pellet system. If you've never used a pellet grill before, the idea of cooking with compressed wood pellets instead of charcoal or gas sounds a little technical, but Traeger does a good job of making things simple. The control panel has a digital Pro controller that lets you set the temperature just by turning a dial. It uses something called advanced grilling logic. Basically, it keeps the temperature within about 15 degrees of what you select, so you don't have to babysit the grill all day or worry about big swings in heat. From my experience, the Traeger Pro 34 is perfect for anybody who likes to cook enough food for a big family gathering or a group of friends. The cooking area is massive. You get 884 square inches in total, split between a big main rack and a top shelf. For context, I've loaded it up with 5 or 6 racks of ribs, a couple of chickens, and even tried a brisket with burgers all at once, and still had space left over. Honestly, if you like smoking meat in big batches, or want to try indirect cooking, you'll appreciate all that room. What really surprised me is how versatile this grill is. I started out making basic smoked chicken, and then moved on to grilling steaks, baking pizza, and even roasting vegetables. Traeger calls this a 6-in-1 setup, which just means you can grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and BBQ on the same unit. I'm not a pro chef, so having that flexibility makes me look like I know what I'm doing, even when I'm just following a recipe. One of my favorite features is the meat probe, which plugs directly into the controller. You can keep an eye on the internal temperature of your food without opening the lid, which helps keep the heat steady. Super helpful if you're new to smoking. As for everyday use, once you fill up the hopper with pellets, it holds about 18 pounds. You just turn the grill to the smoke setting. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get going. Honestly, the smell from those pellets is amazing. The wood-fired taste you get from cooking over pellets has made a huge difference for my family meals, especially with fish like salmon or big cuts like ribs. The Pro 34 maintains a steady temperature, well, even when it's chilly or windy outside, which I didn't expect. That's probably thanks to the advanced controller and thicker steel build. Maintenance isn't too complicated. I usually do a quick brush down of the porcelain-coated grates after each cook. Any leftover ash from the burned pellets needs clearing out every few sessions, and I keep an eye on the hopper to make sure the pellets aren't running low before a long smoke. It's built strong. A year of sun, rain, and even some rough handling hasn't made a dent. The cover from Sun Patio has protected it well and still looks great after a year outside. Now, let's talk about some points I really like. In my opinion, the best thing about the Pro 34 is how hands-off it makes the entire grilling and smoking process. You can set it and walk away for a while, come back later, and your food is cooked just right. The large cooking area stands out for me because I love having friends over and nobody leaves hungry. The porcelain-coated grates are easy to clean and do a great job at holding heat. I also appreciate how easy the folding shelf is. It snaps up with one hand, providing space for trays, and folds down so the grill fits snug against a wall under the cover. Honestly, that shelf has made prepping and serving food a lot smoother. On the other hand, there are some things that could be better. From my experience, the startup time is a bit slow. It takes a while for the grill to reach high temperatures. If you're used to firing up a gas grill and cooking in 5 minutes, this will test your patience, especially if you're hungry. While the temperature stays pretty steady, I notice there's a dip if you open the lid often, or if you get a strong breeze. It recovers, but it's something to be aware of if you're doing finicky recipes. I also wish Traeger included the folding front shelf with the base model because it's so useful. I had to buy mine separately. You might notice that the grill can burn through a good amount of pellets at high heat, so it's best for low and slow BBQ instead of blasting steaks at high temps all the time. There's one other thing for beginners. The startup and shutdown process is important. Don't just turn it off at the end of your cook. Make sure to follow the shutdown cycle on the dial so it can clear out the hot pellets and cool down safely. I learned that the hard way, but reading the manual once covers it, and after a few uses, you get into a routine. In conclusion, I'd recommend the Traeger Pro 34 for anyone who wants to make BBQ easier and more flavorful, especially if you often cook for a group. It offers a big punch in terms of size, reliability, and taste for outdoor get-togethers. The consistent temperature, easy-to-clean grates, and versatility really make it stand out for me. I'm not a grill master, just someone who loves a good meal, and this grill made it a lot less stressful to try new recipes or host a weekend barbecue. Sure, it has a few quirks, the warm-up time and pellet use at higher heats, but the overall experience has turned me into a huge fan of pellet grilling. I'd say if you want to add real wood-fired flavor to your food without making the process complicated, this is worth considering. You can view detailed information about the Traeger Grills Pro 34 electric wood pellet grill and smoker in the comments section. Thank you for watching.